guys, it's 21 Maxwell here. Welcome to the latest edition of TNA Making an Impact. It's turning point today. Before we get started, I'd first off just like to apologise for not making Friday's episode. Unfortunately, I've had an eyelid infection, which has kind of messed up my eye a little bit. As of now, it still stings a little bit, but my vision's pretty much as it was. It's not perfect, but it is what it was. Just the swellings went down a good bit, but obviously lost a bit of time in creating the episode, just basically going down to the hospital and getting it checked out and stuff like that. But as far as I'm aware, we should be back on our normal upload schedule. If there is any delays again, I'll probably tweet about it, more than likely. So, turning point today. I do feel like we could have got a bit more angles in, but I wanted to give a lot of matches a lot of time to try and get skill improvements in certain wrestlers and to try and get the best ratings possible, best grades possible. So we fill our quota of 188 minutes, and overall I'm pretty happy with how it went in terms of booking and the angles we got. I just hope we get the ratings it deserves. So we'll go through the pay-per-view. After it, I've got a few things I want to go through regarding the save. And then yeah, let's crack into it, shall we? Let's go, it's TNA Turning Point 2016. So I think we're in Hawaii, we're in the Stan Sheriff Centre, so 8,851. It's still an improvement, so we'll take it. We start off with a pre-show bout, and that had decent wrestling. It didn't have much heat, and it saw Ricochet defeat Akira Tozawa in 11:05 via the standing shooting star press. The C-59. Ricochet with an in-ring performance of 50. 60 for Akira Tozawa. So just a good matchup here to try and get a bit more popularity onto Ricochet. No skill improvements. And really just used as an X Division showcase match. We start the actual pay-per-view and we head straight to Mike Tenay and Lenny Leonard. Here we go, guys, it is yet another TNA pay-per-view. This time it's Turning Point. We have the intro package, the pyro, and we're greeted ringside by our commentary team, which of course I've said is Mike Tenay and Lenny Leonard. Mike says even, hello everyone and welcome to our latest pay-per-view here at TNA Impact Wrestling, and tonight is TNA Turning Point. Lenny replies with, tonight championships are on the line, rivalries come to a head, and we decide new #1 contenders. Tonight is also a night of new opportunity, and these opportunities lie at the feet of Rockstar Spud and the Tribunal, who get their first shots at the X Division and Tag Team Championship under new management. And of course the main one is the mandatory rematch clause, which sees Stu Barrett get his opportunity to return as the top dog in TNA as he challenges champion Virgil Devitt. A night that also has Jeff Hardy, EC3, Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho and much more all in action. Let's take it away, partner. So D43 just announced team hyping up tonight's show. Let's get cracking in with our opening contest, which is about that had subpar wrestling and little heat. Phoenix defending his championship, and he defeats Spud and Kenny Omega in 13:22 when Phoenix defeated Spud by pinfall. The Meteora. Phoenix makes the second defense of the X Division Championship. It's a D47, Spud with a 42, Phoenix with a 42, and Kenny Omega with a 48. It continues the X Division storyline. Just giving a little bit longer to the title reign, the length of that to Phoenix. I feel like it's still too early to take it off him. But a good win. He gets the win over Spud, and it gives Kenny Omega more reasons to feel aggrieved. Kenny Omega improves his performance skills. A few negatives, momentum here for Rockstar Spud, and consistency for both Phoenix and Kenny Omega. But overall, a decent opener. Next up, and about that had subpar wrestling and little heat, the team of Gail Kim and Jade defeated Ali and Sienna in 13:02 when Gail Kim defeated Ali by pinfall with the Hurricane Rana. Ali was a weak link here. She was struggling, unfortunately, to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. D+48 is not bad, but again, we're building these ladies up. Obviously, Gail Kim is at the end of her career, but she's still a really steady hand to have. Jade is not suited to her gimmick. Again, we'll look into that. She got a 48 performance, so Gail Kim with a 51, 46 for Sienna, and a 31 for Ali. So it continues the knockout storyline. Gail Kim improving performance skills. negatives here. There'll be a few, actually mostly holding back, which is quite disappointing. It seems to be a common theme for some of the lady wrestlers that we've got. To do the turn, that's happening. But Gail and Jade pick up the win over Ali and Sienna, and they celebrate and head to the back. This leaves Sienna in the ring, who is irate, whilst Ali is only just coming to her senses. Ali slowly gets up, and Sienna just turns round and she strikes her before she nails her with the AK-47. And Ali is left out cold. Sienna is now shouting at her, "What the hell was that? You're nothing but a letdown. You're a joke. You're a waste of space." She slowly then lifts up the head of Ali and she slaps the taste right out of her mouth. So E+30. With this comes the face turn of Ali. She as a lead segment, she's going to turn into a ditzy babyface. But I think it's pretty similar to TNA's trying in real life. I just feel like we need more opponents for Sienna, and Ali could be one of them. It could benefit both of them. So complete the change, because that'll do the gimmick and the turn. Ali has now switched to a ditzy gimmick. The gimmick has gotten an initial rating of above average. Delighted with that, and the turn was a complete success. So overall, good segment. Rating could have been better, but we have to build both ladies up still. Early days. Next up in a decent matchup, Jeff Hardy defeated Bram in 12:34 by disqualification. This was a D+51. Matchup probably happened a bit early, but Jeff Hardy and Bram just didn't click, and it showed in their performances. Jeff with 50, Bram with 47. Continues their storyline. It lost heat, unfortunately. But I feel like it was a case where we had to keep Bram looking strong in his victory, in his defeat. And I had a promo before it. Again, I've made a mistake in where I'm putting stuff. So imagine this is before the matchup, where Bram just says a few words about the match with Jeff. He says, "For months now, TNA management has done nothing but disregard me. They have brought in new superstar after new superstar, and I've had to demand my opportunity against one of them before, which was obviously him against Rey Mysterio. After I got that, nothing, no emails, no phone calls, nothing. So I took a stand and I took out their ever so popular wrestler Jeff Hardy. Fresh off an epic final deletion matchup with his brother Matt, there was no better time to make a statement, to be noticed, and with that I had to take Jeff out in the aftermath of it. As I've said before, lad, it's not personal, it's just business. I should be a marquee figure here in TNA. When I take you out tonight, I bloody well will be." So it's C62. It was a good promo leading into the matchup. Fortunately, I've done it after. Built the crowd hotter, it continued their storyline, gaining heat. No skill improvements overall. Pretty good apart from the low heat beforehand. Next up in a decent matchup, the Decay defeated Beer Money in 11:46 when Abyss defeated James Storm by pinfall while using underhanded tactics. In terms of in-ring work, Bobby Roode was head and shoulders above everyone else, while Crazy Steve was the weak link, so again, try to build him up. C64, pretty impressive there. Abyss seemed to be off his game, Rosemary doing some good work at ringside. Great chemistry from Beer Money, as you would expect. Crowd got hotter, Bobby Roode looking good. 84 for Bobby Roode, 60 for James Storm and Abyss as well. 36 for Crazy Steve, so a lot to do with Crazy Steve, but we'll try and build him up. Bobby Roode improving performance skills. A few negatives here, but a good win for the Decay, and we'll probably keep this storyline going a little bit. Obviously, it's between the whole drinking thing that James Storm does. Next up and about, they had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, and it was for the TNA Tag Team titles. The BC continued to defend them, and they defeated the American Wolves in the Tribunal. In 14:42, the Order of Elimination was first the Tribunal, and then the American Wolves. So they retain and make their fourth title defence. A C+69 is very impressive. It was a great chance to give some exposure to the Tribunal. Basil Baraka not suited to his gimmick. Eddie Edwards with a 70, a 71 for Richards, 37 for Baron Dax, a 40 for Basil Baraka, 68 for Jackson, that was Nick, and a 67 for Matt. So overall, a good matchup. Keeps the BC looking strong. They keep the Tag Team Championships. A good outing for the Tribunal from the European Alliance. And That's what you want for these kind of matches. They don't win, but they both gain a skill. Basil Baraka in performance, and Baron Dax in technical. So delighted with that. A few negatives as to be expected, but a good rating nonetheless. This one gets a poor rating, but it makes sense in terms of where we're going in the show. And basically, the Tribunal have been unsuccessful in their attempt at winning the TNA Tag Team Championships. We'll see them just heading backstage towards the trainer's room before they bump into Carly, who of course is the 50% owner of TNA. Basically, she says, Abasil, Baron, the Tribunal, I bring bad news. Tonight, if either of you guys get involved in the championship match with Stu Barrett and Fergal Devitt, then you will both not only never get a TNA championship match again, but you will be suspended indefinitely. Or hell, maybe even fired. So this is rated on Carly's entertainment skills and the ovalness of Basil Baraka and Baron Dax, hence the ESIT27. So poor rating there, but storyline purposes makes perfect sense. Basil Baraka not suited to his gimmick, no negatives. Next up, we've got a short hype video for the upcoming EC3 Rey Mysterio matchup. Again, documenting how Rey Mysterio was meant to be EC3's partner, but then he failed the wellness policy, and we document how EC3 turned on previous partners. And the main at Bound for Glory, where obviously the victory went to Rey Mysterio. Will EC3 finally get his big win tonight? We find out. So you build on me storyline, advanced but lost heat, and a C61. And then about that had some good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Rey Mysterio defeats EC3 again with a 15-53. Pinfall, quick roll up. Simple schoolboy at the end, catches EC3 off guard, continues this little storyline because it's going to lead to a bit of frustration from EC3. But a B-73, happy with that. EC3 not suited to his gimmick, but Rey's getting better at his. Mysterio tiring, which is worrying. EC3 with 69, Rey Mysterio with 71. The storyline gains some heat. There are no skill improvements to speak of in this instance. Negatives, both gentlemen's stamina. Overall good match up here. I think we might have a blow-off match at the final pay-per-view in a few weeks. Next up and about that had some great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Shibata defeats Jay Lethal and Drew Galloway in 1709 when Shibata defeated Drew Galloway by pinfall. Shibata wins the TNA national title, like he was meant to do at the last pay-per-view at Bound for Glory. So he's finally champion, a solid B-77 from these three competitors. The TNA national storyline advances and gains heat. Shibata with 68, Lethal with 73, Drew Galloway with 74, and Drew's getting better at his gimmick. There are no skill improvements in this instance. Negatives, just the announced team in the low heat of the storyline, but a solid performance from these three gentlemen. Shibata has picked up the victory here and is the new TNA national champion. He doesn't get a chance to get his hands on the title though as Jay Lethal gets back in the ring and him and Shibata start trading blows. Start punching each other, strikes with rights and lefts all the way out of the ring, and they battle up the ramp. No man has a clear upper hand in this brawl, and it takes agents, refs and other senior officials to separate the two as we head to a small advert break. So C plus a C64, just showing that Lethal was a bit annoyed that he didn't lose the championship and that this feud, is personal. We're in with JB, who's with Chris Jericho, ahead of the Fatal 4-Way match to determine the new #1 contender for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. JB says, tonight Chris Jericho, you square off against 3 other men, an opportunity to then go on and challenge for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship in the future. Your thoughts? Jericho says, 3 men even, stand in my way tonight. Lashley, Adam Cole and Magnus. 3 phenomenal athletes in their own right, but people have to remember, you have to remember, I am Chris Jericho. I'm one of the most decorated wrestlers of all time. These guys may be coming into their prime, and I know people will say, oh, Chris Jericho, he's past it. But no, I'm ageless. I'm a rock star, I'm a podcaster, and first and foremost, I'm a wrestler. I'm still on the top of my game, if not at the highest point of my game. And I've came here to TNA to prove that, to show the world that the gift of Jericho will deliver this company's highest ever ratings, and we'll see it taken to new heights. So, a fiery promo from Jericho, Sean. Ain't past it. I'm better than ever before. So a B plus 89, best segment we've had than ever at TNA so far. Deserve better commentary, but great from Jericho. Just drink it in, man. That is the gift of Jericho. Matchup was good, and Chris Jericho does defeat Bobby Lashley, Magnus, and Adam Cole in 1758 when Chris Jericho defeated Adam Cole by submission with the Walls of Jericho. B-76, pretty good co-main event. I will say it wasn't initially meant to be Jericho. However, a few times when I tried to give it to other people, he wasn't happy, and I thought, you know what? We'll run with Jericho. We'll give him a chance. It adds a little curveball to where we want to go, and it just adds that unpredictability factor. Could another former WWE guy be a TNA champion? Remains to be seen. But Chris Jericho is getting better at his gimmick, as is Magnus. Adam Cole was slowed down by his injury, but he got an impressive 73 performance. Jericho, a very good 82. Bobby Lashley 65. Magnus 62. So continues the storyline, which gained heat. No skill improvements, but a very good co-main event. And our second to last segment, promo with Fergal Devitt, the champ. Tonight there's no excuses for me, and there's no excuses for Stu Barrett. Tonight we go one-on-one for my TNA World Heavyweight Championship as Stu gets his rematch. Now with the tribunal gone from the building, I guess Stu's plan A is out the window. But I know that Stu might have more than likely a plan B. But I'll be ready. I'm here to be a fighting champion, and I'm here to show the world of professional wrestling that TNA is the place to be. Tonight we go out there, we steal the show, we get the wrestling spotlight on us. At the end of the night, the Devitt era continues. And I will do all I can to keep you fans proud by giving it up my all and taking TNA to heights never seen before. Then I'll crack the code of Chris Jericho. Obviously Jericho winning the World Heavyweight Championship #1 contender match. It wants to be Devitt wants him, so it wants it to be him retaining and then those two going at it. So it continues the storyline. C plus 71. How does the matchup do? It remains to be seen. Solid. In a good matchup, Fergal Devitt does defeat Stu Barrett in 22-23 by pinfall with a flying double stomp. Devitt makes the first defense of the title. Simple matchup here, with no distractions, no interference. It's just a straight up wrestling match, and Barrett has nothing he can do. So he loses. First title defense of the champ, a 78 for Fergal Devitt, a 64 for Stu Barrett. And it continues the storyline, which gained heat, although may end soon. No skill improvements. A couple of negatives, but overall, finished the pay-per-view with a solid B-76. It increased their popularity in all 19 regions, which we wanted, which of course again, US, Canada, the UK, and one of the Central Europe, just basically because there's a Sky Deutschland deal there. So overall pretty happy. Basil Baraka was used too much, but again, just exposing him at these kind of places to get his popularity up a little bit. But overall you can see a good upper mid card, a lot of main events. It's all about building these other guys up, giving people opportunities like the X Division, people like Crazy Steve from the Decay, the Tribunal, and Bram. But this will take time, it's not going to happen overnight, and you do need an undercard as well as a main card as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. As I say, B-76 is a very positive rating. I think we'll give praise to Shibata, Drew Galloway, and Jay Lethal. I believe their freeway did really well, so we'll praise the three of them. Shibata was pleased, and Drew Galloway was pleased, as was Jay. So we'll just have a quick look at a few things, which we'll cover once we get back to the main screen. There's also Survivor Series at the same time, so they get 20,000 fans. We get 8. They were also in Hawaii, that's maybe why our crowd was affected, but 135,000 buys, 40,000 on television. Then you compare that to Survivor Series, which done a hell of a lot better. See if there's anything here that directly affects us. Not that I can see. So it's just telling us our buy rate and our TV rating. Dropped 3,000. and Crazy Steve apparently sells like crap. So, looking good money-wise. Prestige is good, momentum keeps gaining. We're down to 6th though in the rankings, oh, that's a worrying. A couple of companies have taken over us, so if we just look at the company wars, AAA, Dragon Gate, I don't usually get as affected by them because they're not companies in America, you know, they're all in Japan. If it was likes of NXT and Ring of Honor causing us problems, then I would be concerned, but I feel like focus on America first, and then we can look to expanding, focus on America, Canada, the UK, then look at the likes of Japan, Mexico, and further afield. So first I'm going to ask if you've got any opinions on the show, how you felt it went. Would you have booked anything a little bit differently? Are you happy with who won? Do you get any predictions for what you could think could happen into 2017? We're going to quickly look at the title prestige, how that's went over the time. So our Knockouts champion is Sienna, D50. Our champion, Jade, started with that. I felt like we had to put it on Gail because she was more experienced and more over. So then it's went to Sienna. 3 champions so far in the save. Prestige started at 46, peaked up at 55. 50 at the moment, not D+, not too bad. The National Championship obviously started with Bram being the king of the mountain. So he never really done much. We put it on Jay Lethal, who had a lot of good defences, 11 in total, and now it's Shibata. And the C plus 71 sees its prestige higher than it's ever been before, so good job on changing the championship. X Division is just down at D42, 4 champions, Trevor Lee starting as champ. Good little runs for Ricochet, Kenny Omega, and now Phoenix. Prestige of that is just kinda roughly at the same as it started at, peaked up at D plus 48, now D42. Tag champs, we've had 3, starting with Abyss and Crazy Steve. Also had the American Wolves, and now the BC have had it since July, so a good run for them. Prestige here from 50 to 70, so pretty good. The C pluses, I'm quite happy with that. And our World Championship, we've had 3, Galloway, Barrett, and now Devitt. And the B plus 85, again a good 14 increase, and the highest prestige we've been at. So things are looking good. Morale's a bit better. There's a few people unhappy. We either need to find something for them to do or let them go, but we're in a positive place. Next up, if I go to my schedule, next pay-per-view is 2 weeks away, Final Resolution, but then it gives us a big break to Genesis to build along to that. So I'll start putting a card together towards that. I'll say 2 weeks, only 2 shows to make sure it's the perfect card and hopefully a good pay-per-view for you guys. So before I do the usual run-up of ending an episode, I'd also like to say I'm going to put a straw poll in the description below. I was asked if I would look at developmental, if I would look at a dojo. I'm going to leave that to you guys. What would you rather see? I'll leave 2 votes there. You can either vote dojo or developmental. What would you prefer TNA to bring in? I'll let that go to you guys. So we'll probably put the poll up, as I say, in the next video, and we'll make it happen the start of 2017. I say, apart from that, thanks as always for watching. It's deeply appreciated. Say any comments regarding this series, even your own, let me know how you're getting on. Always keen to know how other people are getting on. As an avid lurker of other forums and stuff like that, I'm always seeing how folk are getting on, looking at booking ideas and going, could I do something a little bit similar, or I like the idea of that, could I work that with other people? As I say, as always, they're all deeply appreciated. As I say, comments, likes, subscriptions, anything that gets the word out on TW. It's a small community we've got, and you know it can help everybody. We can get it bigger and bigger, and get more people involved. And if you want to get involved, a few links down below how you can get started. As I say, all you need is OBS. I use Windows Movie Maker. The edits, it's nothing major. As I say, good spotlights to get your stuff out there. And you know, if you've never watched somebody that's on the Fantasy Bookers, you might go, give this guy a try. You might enjoy them. But as I say, thanks always for watching, guys. It's deeply appreciated. And hopefully, I'll see you for the next episode, which should be on Friday. So until then, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.